Hello everyone. Yes, you can see me. I've really gotten into those commentary videos lately where I just talk and over pictures, you don't actually see me. And I thought, well, you know what, it's time to show my face. And yes, I'm wearing a hat. Sorry if it's a bit distracting. I haven't got a bad haircut or anything. It's just a bit different. You know, the other day I was reading in the news that 6 Muslims had attempted to go out to bomb, potentially assassinate the leader of the English Defence League, Tommy Robinson. It's the first time anything like this has happened. I mean, the UK has dealt with Islamic terrorism before, obviously the 7/7 bombings and what have you, but this is the first time a nationalist group, say what you want about the EDL, but effectively the Nationalist, have been targeted in such a way by Muslim extremists. And this is pretty ironic because it proves what the EDL have been saying is right, and what the BNP have been saying is right, and to what UKIP, the English Democrats. You know, it doesn't. If you are a nationalist, you probably have the opinion that Islam is bad for the UK. I think that's a general consensus in the nationalist movement. Nobody likes Islam. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you're EDL, English Democrat or BNP, okay, you've been proved right by this recent development. And it should also create some nationalist solidarity as well, because, you know, it might, if it wasn't EDL, it might have been a BNP rally. If it wasn't the BNP, it could have even been a UKIP rally, you know. This was an outright attack on the opponents of Islam. That should wake some people up. You know, you're fighting amongst each other, squabbling, who's the best nationalist, yet you have Muslims trying to kill us. So, yeah. It's very telling. So the story is that these 6 men from Birmingham, all Muslims, associated with the people that were behind the 7/7 bombings. One person was under surveillance by counter-terrorism police. That's very interesting that somebody under surveillance for suspect terrorism is allowed to basically get that close to actually carrying it out without being stopped. That says something about how good the anti-terrorism units are in this country. In fact, they were only caught because their car was pulled up for not having insurance, and the only reason that they didn't take out the bombings was because the EDL rally finished earlier than expected. So all the EDL supporters left, and then they arrived. They drove around Dewsbury, which is where the rally was, and by the way, this was last July, and they got caught on the way back to Birmingham. It sounds like a joke, but it's not funny. If they had, you know, they had bombs with nails in them. They had homemade explosives, guns, machetes. If they had got close to those EDL supporters with that weaponry, I think the casualties would have been pretty high. I mean, there was 700 EDL supporters all in one place. So if those terrorists got into close proximity of them, a lot of people could have been wounded or, God forbid, killed. And I think the main target was Tommy Robinson because he was speaking at that event. So yeah, but here's the thing, you can see by the title. A lot of people in this movement will say, oh, you know what, it's a Zionist conspiracy. The Zionists are trying to cause a race war and pit the whites against the Muslims. You know, when I look back, when I used to be involved in all of that, because I used to believe these Zionist conspiracies, I just cringe, because now I see it for what it is. It's just nonsense. I mean, it really is. I mean, there will be people that will comment on this video, you've been brainwashed by the Zionists. The Zionists have sold out. How can I have sold out? Nothing's changed for me. I've just changed my views on some things. I haven't been paid £1 million to change my videos. In fact, I'm still I'm anti-establishment. I'm not pro-establishment. I'm not controlled opposition. And in fact, I'm just an 18-year-old with a webcam, so I don't think I'm like really high on their priority list to buy out anyway. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Once again, Jihad comes close to really doing some damage to this country. I think we need to continue to wake people up about Islam. I think we need to drop the Zionist crap. I mean, you see what you want about Zionism. I don't agree with these lobbies trying to push us into wars for Israel. But at the same time, I think we need to really get our priorities in order. The Muslim patrols back in January was the first strike. I think this should be the second strike. Next time, if something like this happens, you should have zero excuses. You shouldn't be able to say, oh, well, Zionists are still the main enemy. No. In this country, at least, in the UK, our biggest threat is radical Islam. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.